MetLife Stadium is a sports stadium located at the Meadowlands Sports Complex in East Rutherford, New Jersey, USA. It is the home of the New York Giants and New York Jets of the National Football League and is adjacent to the site of the former Giants Stadium, which was home to the Giants from 1976 until December 2009 and the Jets from 1984 until January 2010. Like its predecessor, MetLife Stadium is the only NFL stadium shared by two teams. The stadium is owned by the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority on paper. However, the New York Giants and New York Jets jointly built the stadium using private funds, and operate it through the MetLife Stadium Company, a 50/50 joint venture between the two teams. In contrast, the Jets were tenants of the NJSEA at Giants Stadium. The NJSEA continues to provide security and emergency medical services staff under contract to the stadium, as they have done in the past at Giants Stadium. The stadium opened as New Meadowlands Stadium on April 10, 2009, featuring the Big City Classic lacrosse event. In 2011, MetLife, an insurance company based in New York City, acquired the naming rights to the stadium. At a construction cost of approximately $1.6 billion, it is the most expensive stadium ever built and is the largest stadium in the NFL in terms of permanent seating capacity. On May 25, 2010, it was announced that Super Bowl XLVII, to take place in 2014, was awarded to the stadium, the first time a Super Bowl would be played in the New York metropolitan area, and the first time that a non-domed stadium in a cold-weather city would host it. History: as Giants Stadium approached 30 years of age, it was becoming one of the older stadiums in the NFL. The Jets, who had been the lesser tenants in the Meadowlands, sought to have their own stadium built in Manhattan proper, the proposed West Side Stadium. Originally intended to be the 85,000-seat main stadium for New York's bid for the 2012 Summer Olympics, it was designed to be downsized to 75,000 seats for the Jets. However, the West Side Stadium would have required significant public funding, which collapsed in 2005. The Jets then entered into a partnership with the Giants to build a new stadium in which the two teams would be equal partners. Design: the stadium is distinguished by an outer skin of aluminum louvers and by interior lighting that switches colors depending on which team is playing at home, blue for the Giants and green for the Jets. The outside of the stadium is unattractive, and despite the interior lighting of the team's colors during day, the stadium appears to be incomplete or still under construction. This is a technique originated at the Allianz Arena in Munich, Germany, which is shared between the city's two major soccer clubs, Bayern Munich and 1860 Munich. Essentially, unlike Giants Stadium, MetLife Stadium can easily be converted from a Giants game to a Jets game or vice versa within a matter of hours. The special louvers in the associated hanging system were custom designed and manufactured by Overguard Limited of Hong Kong and Architectural Wall Systems of Des Moines, Iowa. The total linear length of louvers is exactly 50,000 meters or 163,681 feet. Front row 50-yard line seats are 46 feet away from the sideline, which is the shortest distance of all NFL stadiums. To change the field decorations, two four-man crews take about 18 hours to roll up 40 sections of field turf that make up the team's respective end zones. Unlike most NFL stadiums, the NFL logo is painted at midfield instead of the logo of one of the teams, also shortening the transition time. The replaceable team logos at midfield were removed in August 2010 after Dominic Hickson tore his anterior cruciate ligament at a practice at the stadium during training camp. Unlike a number of other new NFL venues, MetLife Stadium does not have a roof, as proposals to include a roof failed due to a dispute over funding. Thus, indoor events such as the Final Four cannot be held at the facility, which runs counter to the original aims for a new stadium in northern New Jersey. 20 giant high-definition ready light-emitting diode pylons designed, manufactured, and installed by Daktronics at the north and east entrances display videos of the team that is playing. The pylons measure approximately 54 feet high by 20 feet wide. Inside, 4 30 feet by 116 feet video displays from Daktronics, which incorporate high-definition video technology, hang from each corner of the upper deck. The new stadium has seating for 82,566 fans, including 10,005 club seats and approximately 218 luxury suites, making it the largest NFL stadium in total seating. MetLife Stadium includes a total of 4 locker rooms, 1 for the Giants, 1 for the Jets and 2 for visiting teams. The home teams have locker rooms on opposite ends of the stadium with a visitors' locker room adjacent to it. The unused visitor locker room is also used as a spillover area by the home team on game days. Lease terms. The lease for the new stadium is for 25 years, with options to extend it that could eventually reach 97 years. After the 15th year of the lease, every 5 years, one of the 2 teams may opt out of the lease after giving the state 12 months' notice. However, if one team leaves for a new stadium, the other team would have to remain for the remainder of the lease. Based on the team's histories, this clause presumably allows the Jets to eventually decide that they want to play in their own stadium and leave if they can find a way to finance it, although the high cost of the stadium and relocation of team facilities to New Jersey makes this unlikely. It is unknown if the lease starts upon construction or upon the stadium's opening. The teams also get parking revenue from the Meadowlands western parking lots year-round, even when there are no events at the stadium. Transportation. MetLife Stadium is accessible via Exit 16W on the western spur of the New Jersey Turnpike and is also located adjacent to Route 3 and Route 120. Coach USA provides bus service between the stadium and the Port Authority bus terminal. The Meadowlands rail line operates on event days between the newly constructed Meadowlands Station and Hoboken Terminal via Secaucus Junction, where there is connecting service to Pennsylvania Station, and other New Jersey Transit rail operations. The line opened to the public on July 26, 2009. Naming rights. Allianz, a financial services company based in Germany, expressed interest in purchasing naming rights to the stadium. The proposal was for a period of up to 30 years, and was estimated to be valued at somewhere between $20 million and $30 million USD. However, it sparked protests from New York's Jewish community and the Anti-Defamation League, which opposed the move due to close ties in the past between Allianz and the government of Nazi Germany during World War II. However, Rabbi J. Rosenbaum, Secretary General of the North American Board of Rabbis, agreed that although survivors' sensibilities are understandable, a naming deal is legitimate. I have found Allianz to be receptive, to be sensitive and a friend of the Jewish people today, he said. Allianz sponsors the venue that inspired the color change technology for MetLife Stadium, Allianz Arena in Munich. No agreement was reached and talks between Allianz and the teams ended on September 12, 2008. On June 27, 2011, it was reported that insurance company MetLife entered discussions to purchase naming rights to the stadium. The new name, MetLife Stadium, became official when all parties signed a 25-year deal on August 23. EPA agreement. In June 2009, the new Meadowlands Stadium Corporation and the EPA signed a Memorandum of Understanding that outlines plans to incorporate environmentally friendly materials and practices into the construction and operation of MetLife Stadium. The agreement includes strategies to reduce air pollution, conserve water and energy, improve waste management, and reduce the environmental impact of construction. The goal of the agreement is to save the emission of nearly 1.68 million metric tons of carbon dioxide during the stadium's construction and its first year of operation. Under this agreement, the stadium construction must use around 40,000 tons of recycled steel, recycle 20,000 tons of steel from Giant Stadium, install seating made from recycled plastic and scrap iron, and reduce air pollution from construction vehicles by using cleaner diesel fuel, diesel engine filters, and minimizing engine idle times. Other goals of this agreement include providing mass transit options for fans and replacing traditional concession plates, cups and carries with compostable alternatives. the new Meadowlands Stadium Corporation will report the progress on its goals to EPA every 6 months. Based on the reports, EPA will quantify the benefits of the venue unregistered trademark's environmental efforts. Super Bowl. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Denver Broncos 43-8 for their first Super Bowl victory when MetLife Stadium hosted Super Bowl XLVIII on February 2, 2014. The NFL requires that a Super Bowl hosting stadium must have an average temperature of 50 degrees or higher in February or be held in an indoor climate-controlled facility. However, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell waived this requirement. The stadium was allowed on the ballot because of a unique, once-only circumstance based on the opportunity to celebrate the new stadium and the great heritage and history of the NFL in the New York region. Notable moments. September 12, 2010, the Giants hosted the first NFL regular season game in the stadium's history against the Carolina Panthers, winning 31-0. September 18, 2010, the Jets played their first game at the stadium against the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football with a 10-9 loss. November 14, 2010, the stadium encountered 2 power outages during the game that featured the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. The game was delayed about 8 minutes. December 19, 2010, the Philadelphia Eagles stage a comeback against the Giants in what has become known as Miracle at the new Meadowlands, coming back from being down 31-10 with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter to win 38-31, capped off by Deshaun Jackson's game-winning punt return when time expired. September 11, 2011, on the 10th anniversary of the September 11 attacks, a ceremony was held prior to the game between the Jets and the Dallas Cowboys honoring the victims of the attacks. The Jets defeated the Cowboys 27-0. December 24, 2011, the visiting Giants defeated the hosting Jets 29-14 in what was the biggest regular season matchup between the two New York teams in recent years, due to postseason implications for both sides. The victory helped propel the Giants into the playoffs while contributing significantly in eliminating the Jets from a postseason appearance. January 8, 2012, MetLife Stadium hosted its first NFL playoff game with the Giants defeating the Atlanta Falcons 24-2 in an NFC wild card game, en route to their Super Bowl XLVIII championship. November 22, 2012. During a 49-19 blowout loss to the New England Patriots, Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez ran into the backside of teammate Brandon Moore, fumbling the ball, and leading to a Patriots touchdown, in an infamous play known as the butt fumble. Concerts, international soccer matches, other events. 2010, the stadium hosted an international exhibition soccer match between the United States and Brazil on August 10. Brazil won 2-0 in front of a near-sellout crowd of 77,223. The game was played on a temporary grass field. 2011, the stadium hosted another international friendly between the United States and Argentina on March 26, which ended in a 1-1 draw and was played in front of a sellout crowd of 78,926. 2012. Another exhibition match in preparation for 2014 FIFA World Cup was played on November 14 between Colombia and Brazil, the latter one acting as the local team although with a higher affluence of Colombian fans. The stadium hosted the 12th Sayyum Harshas, a celebration of the completion of the Talmud through the 7.5-year Daf Yomi study program, on August 1. At 93,000 seats, it was the highest capacity crowd in the stadium's history, due to on-field seating and a ticket sellout. The Sayyum was a Department of Homeland Security Level 2 security event, the most critical short of a presidential visit. On September 7, the stadium hosted the first New York's College Classic game, with the visiting USC Trojans playing the Syracuse Orange, in the first of many home Syracuse games in MetLife over the next decade. Future opponents include Penn State on August 31, 2013 and Notre Dame on September 27, 2014 and September 3, 2016. 2013, on April 7, MetLife Stadium hosted the WWE event WrestleMania 29. It was attended by 80,676 fans. 2014, during June, Jehovah's Witnesses hosted 2 three-day international conventions based on the Bible. It is noteworthy because nearly 60,000 people attended, and no admission was charged. Media, new Jets Stadium Tour with Woody Johnson, virtual tour and fly-through video of NMS, Tracy Morgan at the new Meadowlands Stadium, January 2010 New Jets Stadium Tour, spectacular new Meadowlands Stadium opens its door, NJ New York, 2014 Super Bowl XLVII bid presentation, time-lapse video of stadium changeover, stadium naming rights, MetLife Stadium presser, Bryant Park MetLife Stadium celebration, references. External links. Official website, New Meadowlands Stadium project scoping document, Overguard Limited / facade design and supply, MetLife Stadium seating chart.